Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pace Studio on the Road. We are live at the Treefort Music Festival right now in Boise, Idaho. Thanks to our friends at ConvertKit. We're live with the Shivas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, sound check has sounded wonderful. We're about to share 4 of your songs with our audience right now. Every one of those 4 songs is from Feels So Good, Feels So Bad, the 6th record. Congratulations on 6.
Thanks.
What do you feel like doing first today?
The opening track, title track, kind of feels so good, feels so bad. I know what it's called.
right. Thank you very much for coming and playing music today. We appreciate it very much. And I want to talk a little bit about the record, Feels So Good, Feels So Bad, and the theme behind it. I mean, I know it's a really hopeful message of you can figure out what is wrong with yourself, and then what happens on the other side of that is like, it sounds like a peaceful, easy feeling, for lack of a better term. Is that literally where you are in your life? Are you writing about characters, or are you writing about you in terms of that feeling?
That's a good question. I guess I don't really know. I mean, this was our, quarantine album, so it was a lot of like sitting in the basement, kind of driving yourself nuts. Not a lot of seeing people, not a lot of doing anything else. So a lot of this stuff just kind of came out. It was not a. I don't want to say not a lot of intention behind it, because there was, but not a lot of like conscious kind of intellectualization of the lyric writing process. I mean, I think I would say probably a lot of this stuff is about where we're at, more or less, because that's probably what came out, but wasn't necessarily super intentionally so, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I mean, how are you feeling, though, in terms of being honest with yourself? What's wrong with me? Fixing what's wrong with it, confronting it head on, and then coming out the other side. Do you feel at ease with yourself right now? Are you feeling good just personally in life?
Yeah. I mean, we're here. I feel like being here at this moment is something to be celebrated, not after everything we've been through, through everything we're currently all going through, just being able to still play shows, being able to still get in the van and drive around or go record a song or an album, have a newfound appreciation or a newfound perspective. Not that we didn't appreciate it before, obviously, but yeah, it does feel good. But we're in a weird new world where still during the pandemic or whatever, and there's still a lot of stuff that does feel weird. But playing and touring around feels really good. Doing stuff like this feels really good.
Yeah, I agree completely. And we've got maybe the coolest job in the entire world. We get to do this all the time, and it's wonderful. It's not lost on me how awesome this is. So I feel very good about being here right now. You guys are making that happen for us all, so thank you for doing it. And there's a lot more, man. What do you want to do second off of Feel So Good, Feel So Bad?
Yeah, this will be the second song, and it's called Undone. Oh, yeah. My dude.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shook it off and fell off fast.
Yeah, I love that. So something I think is really special about y'all, because maybe I have this experience and I feel like a lot of people don't actually have this experience, and I feel really lucky. But I am like still best friends with all of my friends since like elementary school. You know, like I grew up with them. I mean, they don't live here now. I did not grow up in Boise, but I mean, it's like time doesn't pass. And y'all have been a band and like since high school, or did you know each other prior to high school?
Jeff and I went to elementary school together.
Yes. Okay.
And then the four of us went to middle school and high school together.
This just like really makes me happy, because I really do feel like it's a very rare thing to maintain friendships and like do life with the people that you grew up with. You know, like there's nobody that knows you guys better. I'd assume you feel that way, right? You know?
Yeah.
Another thing that your bio said that I found really interesting, and it feels almost a little different from what I've heard from other bands, is that you write about universal experiences versus maybe your experiences. And I'm curious, like, if you feel like that's helped you grow, or if that's describe that to me a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I mean, that I guess is probably in reference to not necessarily writing songs about ourselves. I mean, obviously a lot of stuff's bound to be autobiographical, whether intentionally or not. But yeah, I mean, just like a movie, you know, you could write a movie about whatever happens on planet Mars, you know, it doesn't mean that it's about you, kind of thing. And like, I think that maybe part of making art or making music is being able to relate to these like universal feelings or universal experiences that so many people go through. And if you can kind of somehow boil that down into a song or whatever medium of art, then I think stuff like that is easy for people to relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the songwriting process, is that like how you work through the songwriting process? Like you're processing, like, how do you feel about this? What's your take on this? Where you're like really trying to encompass everyone else's feelings or your perception of what other people are thinking?
I think so, even if it's maybe subconscious, you know, like I was saying before, I mean, I really try to not think too much when doing any of that stuff. So it's hard for me to stand up here and be like, you know, I was totally trying to do all that. You know, I don't want to mislead anybody. It's not, you know, I guess kind of guiding principle of the group has always been just to try and make music that we like and that we wish existed in the world. And it figured, you know, if we're making stuff that we like, someone else will probably like it too. Yeah. And that really is kind of just all we go on.
Yeah, well, the best thing that you said, which I love, unfortunately today's not Sunday, it's Saturday, but you said we just want to make people feel good and forget they have to work tomorrow. And I do have to. This technically is work for me, but I am enjoying it, so I'm like super stoked to come back to work. It's like you're like, this isn't lost on me that this is my job. So you didn't make me forget. You made me more like excited that I get to come back and do this again. I think that's a better way to put it.
I love that too. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I love that. What do we got next?
This song's If I Could Choose.
The vocal effects.
Oh, thank you. I told you I always forget. All right. If I could choose. If I could choose anything to be, I'd only wanna be me. If I could choose anything to do, I'd just spend all my time with you. Sure that I can, sure that I can. So sure the ocean won't swallow up the land. So sure my line won't break up the band. Of course it's all an evil hand. Just shows that nothing goes as planned. Oh, you're gonna let me in when I'm gone. I can feel it coming on. anything to be. I only wanna be me. If I could choose anything in the world to do, I'd just spend all my times with you. Sure that I can, sure that I can. So sure the ocean won't swallow the wave. So sure my life won't break up the bed. Christian soul and evil man. Just sure that nothing goes as planned. Oh, oh, you're gonna love me when I'm gone. Oh, I can feel it coming on.
All right, thank you. We got the caffeine going. We're coming back to humanity slowly, all of us together. Actually, not slowly. That's not true. As soon as the music starts, if was anything, any of last night's toxicity doesn't matter. As soon as the music starts, it's like, oh, dude, I'm fixed instantly. It's wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you.
So that song, If I Could Choose, I was watching the music video, have been watching the music video for the last 5 days since we booked you guys.
Oh, cool.
And enjoyed it very much. It's that at the studio inside of the Portland Cement Company. For that video and also music videos in general for you guys, do you tend to give a specific concept to a director and say, do this, make this? Do you guys make them yourselves, or do you just hand off the song to somebody and say, dude, do whatever you think?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the situation. It's funny with that song because the video for that one, that was going to be the single to come out from the album, and we had our good friend Omar Cervantes, who's made a bunch of videos for us in the past. We had him come to the studio to just get some kind of documentary footage of the recording process, and we found out that was going to be the first single from the album, and we had all this footage, and so we just kind of cut it up into a video. Kristen edited most of that one, maybe
Nice.
minus the color correction, but yeah, so, but a lot of times we're not the ones editing it, but we do usually take a somewhat active role in coordinating or, but it kind of depends on the different, directors or shooters want to do different ways, and we're pretty flexible.
Yeah, good. I mean, it's important to approach it differently every time and pretend like it's fresh and not get stuck and make the same video 3 times in a row.
Totally.
So the space itself, inside of the Portland Cement Company, you told me the name of the studio and I now cannot recall.
Trash Treasury.
Is Trash Treasury a place that you have gone back to over and over in the past, or was that a new experience for this album?
I think this one was the first album that we recorded there. But the producer who we recorded it with, he was also engineering the whole thing. His name's Cameron Spees. He is also the one who produced our prior album to this one. It's called Dark Thoughts. So it's with a person we'd worked with a lot, but it was a new space.
Do you guys have technical chops? I mean, do you tend to be the ones turning knobs and pushing faders and all that, or is that something that he brings to the table, or do you leave it to the engineer?
Yeah, with him, we usually let him or have him do it. But again, it depends on the project, Cool. We can definitely do all that stuff, but we also recognize that some people can do it. Maybe more that sometimes it's easier to have someone else who can just focus on that, and we can just focus on all the other stuff we have to focus on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I like that answer a lot. Approach it fresh every time. Don't fall into a rut. I think you guys seems like you are very good at doing that, and I'm really enjoying everything that's happening here today. And we still got one more song from Feels So Good, Feels So Bad to share. What do you want to do fourth today?
It's called Don't Go.
In the daytime, wanna hear your sighs. I'll be patiently dreaming.
Thank y'all so much.
All right, the Shivas, thank you so much. Congratulations again on the sixth studio album, Feels So Good, Feels So Bad. It's out in the world. We just heard music from it, so thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your time in Boise.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll see you next time. We did it.
Right on. Thank you, guys.